Hello, how you guys doing? James here. Kind of taking a break. I'm doing some videos. I wanted to show you something right quick. I don't know who you're in this service with, but I don't. You probably see Verizon on a lot of commercials, and here's the box of trying to get this thing here. Here's the new here's the your system, the router system that comes in the box, similar to this. It come in the box, and you have the passcode. You have the passcode on for this object right here. I left Spectrum. I've been having Spectrum. I had Spectrum for like about 5-6 years, and the thing is that I was paying too much. She was charging me for a landline phone and Wi-Fi service, but I really didn't want the landline phone. I just wanted the Wi-Fi service. So I tried to talk to them to take the landline phone off. Plus, they bill you for Spectrum Voice. And on Spectrum, the service was lagging. Sometimes the Wi-Fi service with Spectrum will go completely out. It don't have to be, usually during a storm, that's when you get slow connection and slow response, receiving, get that buffering and everything. So I went on switch to Verizon. Verizon offered me something cheaper, and it's like $30 a month. And the thing about it is, with Spectrum, with my complex here, they only have theirs and AT&T here, and I know this with some apartment complexes and condos, that once they monopolize in these areas, they keep, so other cable companies have to get permission to come in and put their unit there if you want their service. And sometimes there's I didn't know it was a clause in the contract for them to do that. But anyway, yeah, I left Spectrum because my bill started out when I first started with them was about $50 some about 4 or 5 years ago. Since then, it went up to $90 something. Well, just get with Wi-Fi. Just Wi-Fi, and they tack on the Spectrum Voice, which I barely ever use. I asked them to take it off. They didn't take it off. I asked them to take off my Spectrum, and this is how the way. Then, when you think about leaving them, what they do is they say, okay, Mr. Thomas, well, how can we get you back? And you tell them what is it for? And then what Spectrum does is that they call it promotional, so they'll deduct it off your bill for 1 month, just 1 month. But the next 2 or 3 months, your bill can go right back up to $80 to $100 after you didn't told them and requested take this off. And they still, and then at the same time, like most companies, they try to offer you a mobile plan. They want you to have their personal phones and offer your thing. Spectrum, if I had advice to this representative of Spectrum, you need to start listening to your customers. That's why you have so much competition. And the thing that frustrates me with Spectrum is after they close down their main office, now you have to go out in the suburbs to find one of their stores out there, because that's where they do their transactional and taking back equipment. Because in Ohio, particularly Columbus, they had the main central where you can pay the bill and drop off the equipment. And so they closed that center down. And people, and I'm thinking to myself, why would they do something like that? Because what if some people don't want to spend, who don't have transportation, for example, to go way out there in the suburbs, to drop off or pay a bill, wait on somebody. And if you don't have a car or something like that, you screwed. And a lot of people are not very tech savvy on paying online. So that's another reason why. And it's very frustrating with Spectrum. I have the guy is a good friend of mine who's a barber. His family was paying, for Wi-Fi, and he was saying it started out. They started out with a similar plan, maybe $50-$60, and then it depends on what they have. And he ended up paying over $100 something, $60 something for it on his bill. And so he's thinking about going with another program. And it just got frustrating. So what happened with Verizon, a Verizon representative came through here, because I was just frustrated. I tried this one company called BreezeLine. From what I thought they were okay until my manager, main office, used them, and their services suck. So I don't know if they went back to Spectrum or if they went to AT&T, but and how I found out was my resident manager told me, she said, don't use that company. But with Verizon, they don't have to put a box in. So what it is that the guy told me that they work off the tower. We got one of the big old 5G towers, so you can basically work off from there. And unlike Spectrum, they already sign you to a barcode, sign you to the password, so you just put your password in. It takes some time. It's really, and then they bill you. You can if you want to go into enrollment over the phone. That's probably the best way they're doing it now. So it comes into this box, and it looks like this. It's very simple. It's a very simple hookup. Spectrum, you got this monitor. You got this thing like a speaker monitoring thing. Then you have another. I don't know. It's the modem. And you got the box, and so I didn't have to plug in into the have a modem to put into the ether wire, internet wire, and it's not even running off the phone cord, as you can see. It's not even in my phone cord, not even in my phone. So basically, it's right off the tower. So far, have I used it? And so I had to pay. This is my first time. And the way they're paying this, they're going to prorate it. But right now I had to pay the prorate. It's like $50, and then he explained to me. But after that, once you pay your bill, then it goes down from there. So yeah, I left Spectrum, and it really kind of disturbed me. Like some of these companies, when you go into Walmart, I don't know where city and state you at. They always had a representative there trying to get you to sign up, and wanted to be is always Spectrum, trying to get you to sign up with their company. And so, and then when they saw that I was leaving, they said, well Mr. Thomas, why are you leaving? I said, and I just told them, I said, your services suck. I mean, basically what it is, you charge a higher bill on people that services they didn't order. Then when you ask them to take it off, for some reason they act like they don't want to take it off. And then they want to put more services. Like if your cell phone carriers do another company, they'll try to talk you into that. They all do that. They want one whole bill almost $100 now. Why I want to put my cell phone bill in extra economical. Then they try to claim that they can save you some money by putting added cell phone bill along with your Wi-Fi service. I mean, come on, man. It's just ridiculous. And so yeah, that's why I went with Verizon. And so even though Verizon and they stay at the same rate, as long as you pay your bill, you're locked in at the same rate. That's what the guy told me. And so he said that they're gonna go up and go down. So I just got basic Wi-Fi. That's what I wanted. But if it's like a home landline, they probably add maybe $10 extra more. But that's about it. But it stays the same. They don't go up every 3 to 6 months, every month. So people are getting tired of it, and they need to work out something where they need to stop being so scandalous. If you're gonna stand by your product, stand by it. And so that's the next. So that's as far as my Wi-Fi service. Now for my car insurance, I have an older car. It's 20-some years old. I never had no accidents. I never had DUI. I don't have no speeding tickets. And I don't know why that my liability insurance keep going up. Just liability. And the next company I want to get on is who I was with was Geico. Yes, Geico. And if I had to say this to the representative of Geico, dude, you don't have to charge that much for someone who have a 10 or 15 or 20-year-old car. When clearly, and especially, they should reward people who are not people who do DUI. It's not, I don't have a car where it's high theft. It's not no speed tickets, no DUIs. You know, being 2 or 3 accidents. You know how your insurance go up and everything. I'm pretty much been a cautious driver, and I think the last time I got a ticket was going 2 or 3 miles over in the school zone, but that was like 5-6 years ago. But it was not like it was some excessive speed limit. I think the cop was just trying to be dirty that day. But yeah, so it started out, and I was with Geico for the past 6 years, but they started going up, adding on, putting all these add-ons. It's like I still have the same car. Why is my bill keep increasing? Why? For liability. I can see if it was insurance, and but they just, what are you paying for? My frustration is with the car insurance. Then they got you want rentals. No, after you charge me this much, how much you gonna charge me for rentals insurance? So surprisingly, after 6.5 years, almost 7 years with Geico, I went to Allstate, and I have to, do the same thing, pay for them online. But check this out. For the next 6 to 7 months to a year, because you know how they do that 6-month renewal, and as long as you pay your bill on time, it was like something $43, something like $40-something for liability. Then they put the liability, and it was like $10 to $11 for like renter's insurance, which is cheaper to put 2 bills in which come up to like almost $60 for rental insurance, and liability insurance on my personal vehicle. Geico, it'd be much higher with the current bill that I'm having, and they got me at a lock-in. They have a lock-in rate for the next 3 to 6 months. So long as I pay that bill, as long as I pay it, don't have no accidents, nothing like that. But just it's good to have. I understand why you have to have rentals insurance, because you just never know. You can flood it out, break-ins and things like that. So that's one of the reasons why I left Geico and for Allstate. You know, the other ones. And speaking of insurances, you know, you have to be very careful when you put your information, because all these insurance agents and companies will start coming to your line when you're looking for car insurance on your vehicle. And as soon as you get online, you get about half a dozen insurance. They're like vultures, man. They be at you if you put your email, your phone. They blowing up your phone or your email, trying to get you just to get the estimate on some insurance. But guess who had the nerve to run a credit check on me? Liberty Mutual. I didn't even want Liberty Mutual. I figured that Liberty Mutual is probably one of the highest one, like Progressive Insurance. They say State Farm is okay, but some of them, they so-called try to work within your budget, but most of them is outrageous. Progressive and with that family insurance, and you're paying too much for someone when you're trying to live on a budget. People, if you're a family or you're a single person, I'm a single person, but if it was for a family, there ain't no way. And it's just myself, me driving the car and having rental insurance in my place here. I don't have no kids here. I don't have a wife, so there's no need for that. I don't have a family plan to do that. I had a break in, thank God. But there's other places I've lived at, they had break-ins. I had a break-in one time, not here, but up where I used to live here in Columbus. And that was kind of, they ain't take that. It was nothing to take. They upended my bed and trying to look for some money. There was nothing really to take. It was a coin thing. Some things in coin. I didn't have no electronics, nothing exposed, no cameras, no electronics. At the time, I didn't have no laptop, nothing that would cause him to break. And it was weird. Like, I got my apartment broken into up there. I got my car. One time I had one of my cars broken into up there. Some crackhead up there. So I left to come down here. The only thing I had something was taken off me down where I currently live at. I left it out on the porch. I had like a used bike parts, and some fool come up on my step and took my bike that was already disassembled. People are so desperate, they'll steal anything. That's when I first moved in. I think another time somehow I accidentally think I left the door open and had like a drone in there. It was like a cheap drone. They took that. But ever since then I locked everything up. But they haven't had no break-ins, and thank God no one ever break in here. I make sure when I leave my apartment it's locked up. And everything is secured. But as far as the rentals insurance, but it's good to have though, because they see how much you. I really don't have nothing really expensive, no stereo, no jewelry, or nothing like that. Nothing to steal. I mean, I got all my stuff is used. I got stuff is like, it's nothing, no brand new computer, no brand new phone, anything like. everything is kind of used, so it would service we have no value of it anyway. If someone broke in and tried to take it to a pawn shop, there's no value to it. That's why it's good to get old used things. That's something with the value. Even my car, I don't have like a radio. I have like an old Honda Accord, so I have to figure out. There's a code, if I want to get the radio on. I haven't. So you have to figure out the code to turn the radio on, and I haven't listened to the radio in that car since I got it about back in 2018. So I never had no music in the car. So it's nothing really still. It's an older car. It's got some marks on scratches, just typical age and wear on the car. But it's nothing. I don't have a vehicle. So that's why I was kind of upset when Geico is charging me for something, and your bill going up and up and up and up and up. It's like, what is it? Why I'm paying almost $80 for liability? I haven't had no accidents. Like I said, no accidents, no DUIs, no speeding tickets. Only drive the car. No one else drives my car. And I rarely don't even drive that far right now, because of the age of the car, plus there's a couple other things going on. I mean, it's not the type of car. Last time I took it out of town was like 4 or 5 years ago, but I usually drive around here because it's up in age. It'll get over 300-some thousand miles. Car get that old. You don't want to take it on a long trip. Go get you another car with maybe 100-some thousand miles or something, or maybe less than that. If it's a used car, it's nice if it's a new car, you don't have to pay. But if it's a used car and you have liability on it, But other than that, I don't drive that car hardly anywhere. I want to get a secondary vehicle one of these days because it's, something a little bit more, maybe 2012, 2013 or something, just to have a good road car to take out of town with. Because, but that's right now the way that probably better off going with a rental car because the way used car prices, they're not coming down anytime soon. And then when you're on a limited budget, you know how it is. It's just been, everything's going up. And, when your income is not really going up and everything else is going up, it kind of limits you to what you're able to do. But yeah, so that's why I left. But anyway, getting back to, that's why I left Geico. Even a company like Geico, it's just that they all, as far as, that's just for liability and insurance. And as far as the spectrum, as far as cable services, Wi-Fi services, I'm not going back to them. I heard some good and not so good things about T-Mobile. AT&T, they're one of the highest ones too. Their services, but yeah, it's like you're paying for the brand and they charge you an arm and a leg. But that's out here. That's all we can get is AT&T and Spectrum. I was even shocked that there was one of my neighbors able to get DirecTV. I guess somehow he was able to get installed in here. He passed away, but they never came back and got their equipment. So I guess I guess sooner or later, if they enlist that the new neighbor that moved into his apartment used the services. But yeah, he had this DirecTV here. But here is Spectrum and AT&T. That's it. And that's something how these companies they do that. That if you live in a house, you have a great advantage. Depends on what area you live in, but most people that live out in the country or house, they probably have more of a better option as far as cable services, internet services. But like my friend John, that You probably seen my video, one of my videos one time, talking about his son Johnny. When he lived in as far as his internet services, he said Verizon was a good company, and when he was living in Austintown, Ohio. But when he went to Toledo, Ohio, Verizon's not up there. I said, what? He said, no, there's no area I don't know how these companies do that. They're able to go into a city and they monopolize and lock other people out. So they got their own, they probably got AT&T, couple other cable services up there with the Wi-Fi services up there. But when he was in Youngstown, he said Verizon was the best one. So Verizon must. He said I said, yeah, it's funny down here in Columbus, Ohio, it's all open. Up in Toledo, it's not. Like one part of Ohio, like here in near the Youngstown, Warren, Ohio area, you can have Verizon. Go to Toledo, they market it out. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I left them, and it's just really simple. Right now, they gave me a temporary password so that I can get the signal from the tower, and I think that's the best way. And so far, so good. I've had no interruptions. But if one of these representatives, I would tell them, you need to stop with the deceptive marketing. That's my advice to Spectrum and these other companies. Stop being so deceptive. Stand by your product. Don't be going up on people. Don't put stuff on a bill which the customer didn't ask for. They shouldn't have to pay for something. And then here come your representative trying to talk all smooth. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Thomas, and let's see what we can do. And they try to make it seem like that. What if we knock your bill down to maybe $10 or $15? And you say, well, okay, how much is it? Now the last time they offered to knock my bill down, because as far as my internet services, it was like, well, how much they charge you? I didn't tell who the competition was. I said, they said, well, the lowest we can go was $68. Since you've been with a customer after 6 years. And so, just for Wi-Fi, it was much cheaper than that. It's down to, it's prorated, but it's gonna go. It's like, and it goes to whatever you need. It's like one of those plans. So you pay if you want to go have home phone, then they apply for. Right now, I'm using my cell phone, and my cell phone is Cricket. Which I'm considering changing them because they've been going up on me too. Cricket. I pay like $63 a month, and it comes. You took that all the enrollment. So, Verizon has something which is cheaper, and you can keep your number. So I'm thinking about using them for services. So I have to really. Right now, I'm gonna have the Wi-Fi, and then maybe down the road I'll get another phone. And another thing about Cricket, I don't know if it's Cricket or it's the company, the phones that they use. That like if you get this is a Samsung A14, and every once in a while the software it goes off, cut off and on, off and on, off and on, off and on, off and on. Then it's slow to come back on. Then it starts dragging and buffering. Then it goes back out again. It does this 2 or 3 times on these Samsung A14 phone. So I took the phone up to the Cricket. So because when you're having so many apps running on your cell phone, they said that can slow it down. So I took some of the apps, so we closed some of the apps off, and the phone's still doing the same thing. So I don't know if it's the software, and I don't know how the new Samsung's phone is, like the 23 and the other ones, but the A14, the Samsung A14 phones, I don't know if you have an A14, but the software, having it, I only had this, in 2 or 3 years, and the software is dragging sometimes. So you have to limit your apps on how many apps you have on your phone with Cricket, with these Samsungs. So if you go with a company like AT&T, Spectrum, Verizon, they'll have a phone, and you pay, $100 some or whatever for the phone, and then they so-called give you a number. In some places they give you a number if you want to. In some places offer you want to keep your same phone number. So I'd rather keep my same phone number. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why. But these companies, they're a mess. They're a hot mess, and they do anything just to keep you on. You know that promotional when you start complaining, they're going to cancel your service. Oh, what can we do? Okay, this is what we're going to do. Will we cut you down to 10? So let's say your bill's about $100 some. We'll knock off it, and you thinking, okay, they're going to knock it down to maybe $90 to $80, and that's just for that month. But once that month is up, it goes right back up to 2 or 3 months is up. This is what Spectrum does. It goes right back up again for the same services. And it's what I'm paying for. And I barely even use Spectrum Voice. So I'm paying for something that it doesn't make any sense. And this is how they're getting people. And this is how they're going to continually lose customers. Stop with the trickery stuff. And maybe you'll have a little customer, if you stay at a lock rate, like some of these companies do, say we'll lock in your rate as long as you pay this amount for the next 2 or 3 years, because we keep you as happy customers. Now, one thing they did say about Verizon, they told me they would really don't damage the equipment, because it's an arm and a leg. And I said, I ain't going to damage no equipment. I keep it. So I put it in my bedroom. Where, here's the thing. I had the old tower system with Spectrum, with the blue lights that let you know and on. So that was running for a while. Then it started slagging. Now, so they said, okay, you want to upgrade your system. So that's when they get up the tower thing. They try to be so technical, and that modem box so you got one or two things. You got to put the one in, if you can put them in an extra room, and then if you have Ethernet with the internet, and it's just a pain in the butt. And then you have to have a password. Remember the password in order to get to your Wi-Fi system when it comes to Wi-Fi connections. And so Spectrum's equipment, it sucked. It really is. Then the service is lagging. Like I mentioned earlier, usually I can see when it's a thunderstorm, like we're about to get a storm here, and things shut down. Sometimes it can happen even with electric company, that the electric company would electric cut off, and that really hits your internet service too. So power completely shut down, and then that is tied to your internet service. And so now when the power comes back on, then the internet service have to come back on, and then so I understand in that case. But then it usually with them, it could be no bad weather, no strong winds, no heavy rain, no storm. All of a sudden, the internet will go out of the blue. And that's what basically I was talking to the Verizon representative. He said that won't be a problem, Mr. Thomas, because it's like it's right up on the tower, so the signal comes in from the tower instead of having to deal with the wiring that they go through just to get the box to hook up to the box to get the whole thing running. But yeah, but if I was Spectrum, stop being so deceptive as far as your services. And it's just it's not right. And when people trying to budget their money, and you just going up on their bill like that, especially for services that that most people don't pay attention to. Another thing, now as far as the car insurance, Geico and Progressive and these other people, give it up. Just because your advertisers on TV. That's and that was the funny part with Liberty and Mutual as far as insurance. And I just want to base some car insurance saying, oh, your credit. So we went to train. Why are you checking my credit? All I did was ask for a quota. I didn't ask you to check my credit. I wasn't applying for no credit card now like that. So they're gonna say, we can't take you on as a client. Well, Liberty Mutual, I want to be your client anyway. You're probably high as hell. So feeling is mutual. I was just getting a quota for, because I was displeased with my car insurance. And it was a used car. Not a new car, which you have to have full coverage with. But yeah, that's what really made me mad with them, man. But anyway, yeah, so if you decide to go for Verizon and you get that white box or gray, whatever color, it's gonna come in with this. The password, all the information is gonna be right up in here. You put that. You can call up and put. Of course, you have to call it for those who are familiar with it. Yeah, everything used to be so easy just to get on the internet. Now it's just everything is so technical. You gotta go through a password, go through this, and now each time you just pay. Now you have to. Well, you can pay online, and sometimes I don't really like to use banking online because just like some of these other companies, they've been getting cyber attacked and systems attacked, and I wish they go back to the old ways of you just coming down to the office and paying it. That's what with the internet companies, insurance companies, all these other companies, because there's too much stuff going on. We're in a cyber war, and someone tap into your account. Even though you can have some cyber lock, whatever, but you never know with these people. They got technology, it's unbelievable. But anyway, I don't want. That's my rant for the day on it. My insurance company, car insurance, and internet services. So, and that's my suggestion. If you're having problems with Spectrum, you might want to check out Verizon. Even though it's kind of like a lock rated for another year or two, but at least as long as you pay your bill on time, they lock in. They're not going to go up on you every 2 or 3 months. First start out, and all of a sudden they start putting on these other little gadgets, and then your bill start going up and up and up and up. It's crazy. Like, what I'm paying for? Next thing you go from a $50 bill to a $200 bill within 6 months. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So this is my rant, my rave. But yeah, again, let me. This is what the new Verizon box gonna look like. I mean, okay. Oh, there it is. So this is what the new box gonna look like. And you put up, and you just plug it in. That's it. Just one thing, and you just turn it on. You have to go through all procedures like Spectrum does. You can use plug it in, and you don't have to use a phone cord. I had to put with Spectrum. You have to put in the phone cord in your phone, or you have to put it back into the the modem. I believe that is the modem back there. Nope, just plug it up right to the tower. That's it. So that's not bad. And so far I haven't haven't dragged, haven't knocked out. And sometimes it can probably save it on your data if you use it locally, because I'm using Cricket, so I use the company, so I have to be very careful. So sometimes I have to switch over to a Wi-Fi to save some data. Other than that, that's it. Yeah, all my devices working. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 devices working on it, and my Roku TV. Just to make that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is by itself. And I have which that's hooked up to the internet, so you can't beat it. So you might want to try it out, Verizon. So if you really getting fed up with Spectrum and a bill, and that so-called play with your mind. Oh yeah, you complain about the bill. Well, what can we do? This stuff. Now they send me a 30-day. Oh, now we can offer Wi-Fi for $30. I ain't falling for that. Yeah, it start with $30 and goes up. Next thing you know, go be up to $80. They do any kind of slick thing, advertising, TV, and everything. But that's my frustration. So anyway, hope you guys have a good day. Yeah. That's my advice. And if you, before I go, you might want to check Allstate, and just check them out. They're one of the cheapest one in the area. As far as you have a used car, you have an older used car, you need liability. Well, it depends on what state you live in. But these other ones like Progressive or Family Mutual Insurance and all these other ones is outrageous. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion on the car insurance and the internet service. So that's pretty much it. So that's my rant for today. All right then, guys. Take care. Be blessed. And hope is well. Help out a lot of people. And your car insurance and to your internet service. Take care. Be blessed.